All right, check, check, quick sound check. Can everybody hear us loud and clear? What's going on, Baron?
Oh, nothing much. How you doing, Jay?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Slow Markets, everybody. If you were looking for Coach Dakota, me and Baron kicked him out. He said, "You know what, Dakota, don't worry about it. We got this from here. Take the night off. We're going to take care of this." Shout out to BPC Trades in the chat. What is going on, Braden? But I think we're all good to go. Welcome to Slow Markets, everybody. I'm Jay. That is Baron. We're going to be your host and traders tonight. We got that risk disclosure up in the chat already. Shout out to Bruno. Thanks, Bruno, for sharing that. Baron, what's going on, man? Get situated here. How has your trading day been? Switch over to your charts really quick.
It was the CPI release day. I had a migraine, and I pretty much just slept all day. So I didn't really trade at all today. But coming into the overnight, just caught a nice gold short. So I'm up 1,400 on the day already. I'm gonna look for this to retrace back up to VWAP. We've hit that second standard deviation band of VWAP, and we haven't had a retrace yet. And there's this new platform I'm using. It's kind of similar to Edgeflow, but it's got some more statistics on like the volume side. And one of those statistics is when we hit that second standard deviation band, 98% of the time there's a retrace back up to VWAP at some point. So we're gonna be looking for that. Maybe take a long back up towards it. Maybe look for the short if we do get that retrace. So that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I was short right up at the top. So this initially, right, we have this consolidation right from, let me hop on the 1 minute just so I can show the scale in. So we have this consolidation right at open. Then we start to break down below this VWAP. This looked nice to me. And then we came back up into this area was a POC. And I was seeing exhaustion on footprints at the POC. So I started to add into a position. Initially did 2. The next minute I added 3 just to get 5 on there. Then when I saw that confirmed exhaustion, I added another 5. And then it started to break down. I added another 5. And then I got out on this crazy 5-minute candle. And then I wanted to re-add right here, but I was getting ready for the show and all of that. So I didn't catch it.
Got to make sure we look good for the show. Got to make sure we look good. I'm going to switch over to my charts really quick because I do like these gold shorts also. But like you said, Baron, I think I kind of need a retrace here. What I'm looking at is I'm on a 30-minute chart here. Well, let's first go out to the daily. Right, what are we seeing here in gold? We had a trade up above 4,400 earlier today. It looked like that was going to be the run for all-time highs, and we saw a pretty strong rejection up there, right? So now if I go down to a 30-minute chart, I have a 200 moving average, which is this white line going across my screen here. And if we have the first 30-minute candle, looking at that kind of like an opening range, we had volume and price leave that range aggressively to the downside. So I kind of want to short against VWAP if I can here. If we get that pull up 43.50s, if we continue to just sell off, I'm not going to sell it in the hole here because gold has been somewhat of a range bound market and finding buyers at these lows. But
the main reason I was looking at this short was we rejected that 4,400 level aggressively after the CPI print. So I'd look for this to come back lower. Sorry to interrupt, but
no, all good. All good. 43.39.30 last trade here in gold. We're already down just over 0.5%. Take a look at some of the other markets here. We do have some news also. The Bank of Japan rate decision. We're probably not going to get it while we're on slow markets tonight, but at around 11:30 Eastern time, we are supposed to be getting a Bank of Japan rate decision. They are supposed to be raising their rates. And a lot of people are saying, that is going to have effects across the board, right? In the equity markets that we trade, in the Nikkei, of course. And a lot of people in Bitcoin, right? I've heard some chatter that says, the last couple of rate decisions from the Bank of Japan have led to 20% sell-offs in the crypto market. Bitcoin's already been under some heavy sell pressure, so we'll see.
I mean, you remember last year in August when they went from 0% to 0.25 and the market dropped like 7 or 8% in a day.
Yep.
And then they saw the shock drop and they're like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. They reverted their decision right after they did it.
Yeah,
So that's like where you can go to Japan, you can get essentially an interest-free loan and then go invest in other markets. And that's kind of like been the world like area where everyone's loaning money from. So big impact on the markets. Pay attention to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Money's going to get a little bit more expensive potentially in Japan. So do we see that effect anywhere else in the markets? I want to give a shout out to Bruno. Bruno is the best moderator in YouTube history. Shout out to you, Bruno. Shout out to you. Let's take a look really quick at the NASDAQ on a daily chart to start. Baron, I know you haven't been really trading the NASDAQ much, but I'm curious to see what your analysis is on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through on the daily really quick just to see what I'm seeing here. That October 10th candle, we've been talking about this one pretty much since this candle printed. We held 50% of it. 25,000 was right around that 50% price. We had a nice rally today, but really no buying above 25,400. I personally had a pretty nice day today selling against that 25,400 area in the NASDAQ, but right now it kind of feels like we're in the middle, right? Today was, this Thursday price action was an inside trading day from the prior day. I had a decent amount of volume trade, but really didn't go anywhere directionally. And if I look at this, we're kind of sitting right at 50% of that range. So I don't personally see a great trade here. Even so far, what we have is, flat VWAP. Market's not really choosing a direction. If we get an opportunity against this 200 moving average up here, this white line, 25,288, and there's no volume trading above that, I will take that short again. It's a short that I was taking earlier today up here, 25,400s, took the short a couple of times. But if we reject off this 200 moving average, which we've been under for the entire week, I think I want to look to sell there again. Baron, I'm going to switch it over to you. Let me know what you're looking at over here in the NASDAQ.
I mean, we had a very positive CPI print. It was what, 0.5% under expectations, something like that. So what I'm seeing here is we came back up into this structure, the structure point that we aggressively sold off from. We came right back up into that today. Obviously, we rejected it. Just based off the CPI print, I would be a little bit bullish on this. I'd still pay attention to that Bank of Japan interest rates. If you want to slap a volume profile on here, let's just see what we got. Let me find a good point. So we have highs back here. I'd probably take the volume profile on like a higher time frame from back here. I want to look at all this data. So we are defending that value area low right now. Tried to get above that POC, struggled above it. But there are some buyers interested above there. So I'd see if this value area low defends, if we can get above that POC and then head back. That value area low, it's going to be 25,200 about. And then that POC is 25,315. So I'd look to see if this holds as support, if we can get above that POC and start heading for that value area high up at 25,500. If you want to take a lower time frame profile, I'd take that off the CPI print for today, right? Seeing about the same thing for that value area low. And we're right at POC. So this area, 25,300 is probably going to act as resistance. But if we start to get above and you get those momentum legs, a lot of people like to use value area highs, value area lows, POC as like support resistance areas. But there's another way to use them, which is when you break out of that level, the market's going to trade outside of value. So if I go over to gold, this is a really good example on gold. Let me check on my trading view where I have this volume profile.
Okay.
So I've anchored last night at 6 p.m. It is on the 17th of December. 17th of December at 6 p.m. Sorry, 1 second.
Oh, good. Got some good comments here in the chat also, so we're going to talk about those. But yeah, go ahead, Baron.
Yeah, if you look at this, you start failing at this POC. We sell off through it, and then you get down to that value area low, and you flush underneath it. So now we've traded outside of value. We've swept out that New York low. That's a stat that I really like to use. Now we're getting this retrace. We're starting to head back up towards VWAP. This is kind of what I wanted to see. Obviously, I didn't catch the long, but this would have been a solid long to be looking for. As price, trades outside of value, swept out that New York low. Maybe goes back up to VWAP. Maybe it pushes higher than that VWAP as well. But
that is what I'm looking for here as well. This retracement back to VWAP, I got it at 43.53. See if we can get a little pullback into there and maybe another short. Metal markets, they have been hard to short. See profit, take profit trade, right? They're trending to the upside. We did see a nice sell-off in silver as well. Silver's down a little bit, but with these markets being, on a higher time frame, just trending to the upside, there are going to be opportunities, but if you're not quick about them,
it
could cost you.
It's always like whenever I'm looking at gold, it just feels wrong shorting it.
Yeah.
But
yep. Why am I doing this? Is it worth it?
Those sell-offs are very quick usually. What I've noticed, specifically in gold, when you start to get those sell-offs, they're very fast.
Today's look at that move. What is that? A 5-minute candle on your screen right there? How many points is that? During the New York session.
Oh, during the New York session?
Yeah. What is that candle right there? You were sleeping.
Yeah,
you were dreaming while that candle was selling off.
17.5 point candle, and then this one's a 32 point candle. So definitely some aggression from sellers, but those when you start to get those long step back up, usually it's pretty slow grind up.
Yep.
Those are kind of the trades I like to sit in. I like to hold trades for a while.
Set and forget.
Yeah, kind of. I had a trade on silver earlier this week that initially I had 2 minis on it. It was on Tuesday night or Monday night. It was on Monday night. I had 2 minis on it, and I wrote it up I added into the position, but I think I
saw that post.
Yeah, I got like 25K out of it, which it was like a 16-hour trade. It was a long trade. I went to sleep with it on. I woke up and I was like, oh, it missed my TP by a little bit, but I'm going to take this off and just.
That's a great trade. I mean, and trading the minis or the big contract, that can definitely do that.
My initial risk on this trade was like $1,000 too. So, I think there's a little bit of a luck factor in there.
And when you're good, you're lucky, right? When you're good, you can get lucky.
Well, I know some people when they trade, they like to say, like, "Oh, luck's not a part of it." I think it is, because you're going to show up for as many opportunities as you can. At some point, you're going to get that lucky trade that just it flies, and you just have to know how to take advantage of it. So I was trailing my stop up. I was very patient in the trade, which I sat in it for. Let me hop over to the chart. Let me see if I can pull up the price action on it. So it was what day was Monday? It was Monday night was the 15th. So it was here. So I longed off this wick. My stop was at the bottom of the wick, and I held this all the way into the morning session of New York. And my TP was at these lows, this point of structure. So it missed it. By the time I woke up, it had gone down a little bit, but I closed it out, took my profit. But I sat in this from 8 p.m. till, like right around 9:30 the next morning.
What gives you the confidence to hold on to a trade like that, right? We hear traders say it all the time, right? How does someone make $25,000 in a trade? What gives you the confidence to hold on to something like that? Or is it irrational confidence?
I think it's just proper risk management, and it's like how far can this run? And silver's had days where it's up 5%. So I was looking at that, and I was like, this is a volatile asset. I want to hold this for as long as I can. And then I trailed my stop before I went to bed below this structure point. And then once this, I was still awake when this started to break out. So I just brought my stop up just below. I was using 15-minute structure. So let me see. Yeah, it was just below like this impulse leg. But yeah, it's just a matter of like risk management. Where do I put my stops? How much can I squeeze out of this? And another thing that when I teach risk management, it's if I'm in a trade, and let me just hop over to the micro and just kind of give an example of this. I'm just going to toss one micro on here. So it's nothing crazy. But if I'm in a trade like let's say this, and I'm risking $50 and my TP's all the way up at, let's say $200.
Mhm.
If I'm $150 in profit and my stop's at break even, I'm floating $150 profit, and I'm not, if it comes back and it stops me out, I just lost $150.
Right.
So I'm risking 150 to make an extra $50. To me, that doesn't really make sense. Now your risk to reward is skewed because you haven't managed your stop appropriately. There are times where, like on that silver trade, you know, my stop was in profit about like $8,000.
Okay.
I'm willing to risk that for the $40,000 trade. But on most trades, the way that I'm looking at it is if I'm up, let's say $500 and my risk is at break even and my TP's at 700, I want to at least get like 250 to 300 out of that. I don't want it to come back and stop me break even just because I need to be right and it needs to hit my TP. The market's going to do a lot of different things. It's going to take time to like get to that profit target. So I should be adjusting my risk. Like I should still keep the risk to reward in mind, because if I'm still at break even and I'm up 500 and my initial risk was
that's a losing trade.
Yeah, it sucks to hit break even. I hate break even trades.
Yeah,
I hate break even trades.
Absolutely. Did you just put this trade on for an example, or you actually like this trade?
Yeah, I mean, I put it on for an example, but I mean, it kind of looks good. It kind of looks good. It's just one micro.
This guy's making money on accident.
Yeah,
here.
we'll look for this to head back to VWAP.
Okay.
We are above that lower VWAP band, so I want to see if that is used as support. Head back up towards shorter term value area low. See if we get a low retest. That this value area low aligns with VWAP, so I mean, I kind of like this for a trade.
Yeah. I mean, we were both looking for that pull up back to VWAP, right? I saw somebody in the chat saying, "Oh, Jay said this was a short," and I bought it. So if you listen with both ears, you might hear that we said we were looking for the retracement to VWAP before selling it. So, you know, there's an opportunity for a pull up trade here. It's not a guarantee that there's going to be a great sell when we get up there, but you know, we'll see what happens when the market trades up there.
Let me actually send you that VWAP statistic. I think it's a good statistic. No. I'll shoot it over in Discord.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, man. Got a question in the
you use volume a lot, right, Jay?
Yeah, volume is pretty much everything that I do.
Okay, cool.
Different reads off of volume. So yeah, if you could send that to me, that would be awesome. See a question here. What is the yen doing? Japanese yen. So I'll switch over to that chart really quick. It's kind of just on its lows for the year, right? We saw a little bit of a bounce, but this doesn't look great. Right now, it's kind of just chopping around, right? If we look at a 30-minute chart, it's really not going anywhere. But again, that rate decision is probably not going to come out for, I guess we have a little bit of a sell-off tonight, but that rate decision is probably not going to come out for another 2 hours or so. So like I said, we may not be on slow markets for it, but if you're going to stick around and trade afterwards, maybe even trade with Aaron tonight for the London trade, we may see some volatility after that rate decision is going to come out here. Can you share?
Out in Spain.
Aaron?
Yeah, he was out in Spain. It looked like he was living the dream, bro. He had an Audi R8 in Spain. I was like, this guy's followed.
Yes, he is. Yeah, right. He is doing it right. Traveling, trading, doing trading retreats, all of it. Yeah, if you don't follow Aaron on social media, you definitely should be. Would you do content like that, Baron? Day in the life content?
Maybe. I don't know. Like right now, my perspective on this is when I've traveled and traded,
okay,
it typically doesn't go well. So for like the next 2 or 3 years, I kind of just be locked in on trading as a whole and then start to travel. I mean, my mom and my dad, they traveled a lot. Like my dad was a tour manager and a sound engineer. So
traveling all the time.
He was doing world tours all the time. Like him and my mom was living in Japan at the time. She's from California, but she was living in Japan, and they met in Japan while he was on tour with Deep Purple in like the 80s. And it was sick. He'd go to Australia,
it's a great story.
China, he'd be all over the place. So I definitely want to go out and travel. It's just I want to be locked in for like the next 2 or 3 years, set myself up where it's like okay, now I don't have to worry about anything. I don't really have to worry about money or,
Right.
you know, if I'm going to trade on a specific day, like I have to trade every day or whatever it is.
Good game plan. Good game plan for sure.
I shot those statistics over in the Discord. And
cool.
if you're looking at those are for the, you know how the VWAP auto anchors at the restart of session?
Yep.
So it's for that VWAP.
Got you. Okay. Interesting. I like how this platform looks. What is, if you can, what platform is this?
It's called Profitable. I can
got you.
give you over a link for it. It's in open beta right now. But
awesome stuff.
It's got a lot of cool stats. It's got journaling, and it's got a number of really good things. It's got footprints in there as well. A lot of cool indicators.
Nice.
And they're working on integrating Project X with the API keys, so you can trade directly from that platform.
That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. We are seeing gold continue to push up. Baron just got into a trade just because he said, "I'm."
I was giving an example. I was using one micro. This went with my trade idea. Right.
Hey, if you take it off now, you could pay for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah, I was looking for the retrace to VWAP anyway. So
right.
Yeah, I think it's good to show live examples though.
100%. 100%. If we get into a trade here, I will. If I see a trade set up, I will let you guys know. I'll get into one as well. And what we do here is not a signals class. Dakota says that all the time. You're just trading here. We're going to get some right. We're going to get some wrong. But the risk is managed on these trades. Someone was asking, kind of how I look at volume. Back to a 30-minute chart here. To me, volume moves the market. It's the flow of the market. So it's the lifeblood of the market. I'm trying to identify what somebody who has a big enough account to move the market is trying to do, right? So in this gold example here, we had volume and price leaving this 30-minute range at the same time, which tells me aggressive flow to the downside until we see a turn, right? So against this VWAP, the flow is still to the downside right now. Now, can that change? Absolutely. But what it's shown so far and the fact that it left so early shows the potential for continuation lower here. Now, you still want to have levels, right? Supply demand levels, support resistance, whatever you want to call it. For context, right? You want to see how volume responds to those levels. But it's really just reading the flow of the market. Today in the NASDAQ, for example,
it's very similar to how I look at the market as well.
Yeah, I could show an example in the NASDAQ today. When was that choppy day we had? That was 2 days ago. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go to regular trading hours really quick. And Baron, if you see anything for a trade, just let me know. But I'm going to go to regular trading hours, and we're going to look at December 15th. Here's the opening range in the NASDAQ, right? 3-minute opening range. I look at a 3-minute chart. You see this pink line here? That pink line is VWAP. If I had to read the flow, is there anywhere that this pink line is saying it's definitively going except for to the right? Right? This VWAP is pretty much a flat line. It never left that range for the entire day. So although price can leave the range to the upside, I have, lower confidence in this move continuing because there is no volume behind the move. Now compare this day, December 16th to December 17th, which was yesterday. There's that same 3-minute opening range. Is there any question about where this line is going, right? This is down and to the right. You see the slope of VWAP. You can see the angle of it. And this is just the simplest thing. There's other volume things that I look at, but the simplest way you can read it is there flow in this market? Now, with this one, completely different example. We're selling off. You can sell against that VWAP a couple of times until we get extended. And then again, today, here's that same 3-minute opening range and a lot of back and forth, right? So what this tells me is that this is a flat VWAP, tells me range-bound market, identify the extremes of the range, and trade it from there. Yeah. And that's why we were selling up there near 400s earlier today.
Yeah, typically you don't want to trade with like a flat VWAP unless it is at those extremes. This trade, I wish I sized up on this trade. I wish I didn't use one micro. This is a great trade, so no drawdown on it. Do you use standard deviation bands at all, Jay?
I do not.
You should look into using them. They're great.
You're not the first person that's told me that. Here's this VWAP test again here.
Like if you look at that sell-off on, what was it, Wednesday? Okay. Once after 10:30 Eastern, the market just continues to ride between the first and the second standard deviation band, and it uses that first standard deviation band as resistance as it comes on the way down. They're good for entry conditions. They're good for identifying trends. I use them a lot with gold to identify, is this range bound? Is it trending? Where my entry might be. You can use them as support resistance. There's a lot of things you can do with them.
Got you. Awesome stuff. Just a reminder to everybody that this is Slow Markets. I'm Jay. That's Baron. Dakota's out. He had to take care of some stuff today. So if you're wondering where Dakota was or is, he should be back on Sunday. But this is still Slow Markets. So hashtag Slow Markets. Tag us on socials. Any trades that you're taking, any setups that you've taken, tag me or Baron. X.
I'm not super active on Twitter because I look at it and
because Twitter.
It's too toxic. It's just too toxic for me.
Yeah, man, I hear you.
I know it's a good platform. I've had a Twitter since like 2016, but it's too toxic for me personally.
Oh yeah.
Someone in the chat was asking why I like to use the session VWAP or the VWAP that anchors right at 6 p.m. So I'll use multiple different VWAPs. Like if I'm trading gold, typically I'll look at the overnight session VWAP. I always have that on my chart, and then I'll look at the COMEX VWAP from previous day. And COMEX VWAP, that's just going to be an anchored VWAP at 820. The reason I like to use the overnight session VWAP is it has the most data in it, if I'm thinking about trading. Now, like you might say, okay, well, why wouldn't you use like a monthly or a weekly? Because that technically has more data. It's the data that it has the most data in it. That's the most relevant to the data that you're trading. That's how I view it. And it's the same thing with like volume profiles. I know a lot of people like to use session profiles. I personally like to use fixed range volume profiles. And then I just look for the highs and the lows of the market, and I see where's the last time it intersected there. And then I'll draw my volume profile based off that. So if we're in a range for a week, then I'll have a weekly volume profile, but then I'm also going to draw a volume range profile based off, the last 6 hours or 12 hours or 24 hours, depending on where price action is trading at. I think I'm going to hop out of this.
Yeah.
As we're coming back up towards VWAP. I mean, buyers could just continue to push this up through VWAP. But I mean, we'll take the 45 bucks.
Nice trade. Got a question here from Joe in the chat. Said the flow is down and the 200 moving average is offering resistance. Why do you consider longs? So I was not considering longs at all, right? I'm considering taking a short here in gold, but we were saying I don't want to sell it in the hole, right? When we started talking about gold, it was trading down at 43.40. There's a 10-point pullback that we've had. And really, I'm looking for a test of VWAP for a rejection to get in short because of that 200 moving average where it is. So like I said, to whoever was taking that long, nice trade, right? Because again, I don't want to sell down here, selling in the hole here, but now it's maybe a better risk to reward trade because my stop on this trade would probably go above 43.58, 43.60.
We're also back at value area low for the last couple days. So let me pull that in. Actually, I'll just switch over to the mini product. So yeah, we're coming right back up to that value area low, right back up to VWAP. This was the retrace we were looking for. Now, if I want to short this here, I need to see sellers step back into the market, which it looks like they're starting to.
Yeah, they are.
Let me check my footprints to see what those are looking like. Yeah, it looks like we had steady buyers on the way up. On that last candle, it was a positive 260 delta.
What time frame are you looking at?
5 minute.
5 minute.
Yeah, so could still see buyers push us up further, but I'd be looking for either exhaustion or absorption as we come up to this VWAP. I don't want to see a strong push through it.
Yeah.
If I am looking for that short, and if they push it through it, then the next area I'm going to be looking at is the 60 area.
We are coming to the top of the hour there. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Central time. Let's see if that gives us any volatility. There was a seller earlier, right around the Asia session open, right in this area right here. Let's see. Let's tag VWAP first, and then I'll decide. if I'm going to get in that short.
Do you ever do something, Jay, and you're like, man, I'm stupid. I was on the screen share platform trying to adjust my contract size, and I was like, why is this not working?
Why is it not working? Why is it not? Nope, it is working.
On the screen share.
Every once in a while. Every once in a while. Can we please... We see his indicator settings for value area high, low.
Yeah. So I just use this fixed range volume profile. People are asking where you anchor VWAP, how you get anchored VWAP. So if you go on your left-hand side of Project X, you go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be the same on TradingView. Anchored VWAP here, this is going to let you choose a point. So if I'm using a COMEX VWAP, which is going to happen at 8:20, I'm going to select that anchored VWAP and then go over to 8:20. This is Eastern time, not Central, just a heads up. And then that will anchor my VWAP from that COMEX time. If I want to pull a profile, just going to select fixed range. And this is based off whatever candle you select, and you can drag it out. And then you own the settings. I have the row size set to 70. I think the baseline for this is 24. And then my value area is 70. Some people will use lower value area volumes. 70 is kind of the standard for the industry. And then just under style, you just select POC, developing value area, if you want that on Topstep X.
Baron giving out all the sauce right now. We are still continuing to see gold push here above VWAP, so no short yet, right? VWAP's just a level. But if the market does not agree that it's going to stop, if the market doesn't agree it's going to stop there, then why do I want to be the first person to try to jump in? Right?
Yeah, I'd be looking for, sellers to step back up, or there to be a CVD divergence, which right now there is the CVD is looking more bullish than bearish. When we were back at these highs, there were more sellers in the market. So there's less buyers right now. There's less buyers than when we had this drop off at 8:20.
Yeah.
So I want to be aware of that. Once, I see sellers start to step back up, then I'm going to think about taking the short. But
question now, for you, Baron.
No trade.
We were just talking about how difficult gold is to sell. Should we just be looking for places to buy it? I mean, you just did.
Yeah. It could rally back up towards these 70s.
Right.
So we are getting a decent push through VWAP. I want to monitor the 60s to see if there are those sells. I mean, the sell opportunity.
Yeah, I'm looking at 58.
How does I haven't really traded gold when Bank of Japan's been changing rates and stuff. How does that impact it? Do you know?
It's probably going to be pretty volatile. It's going to be pretty volatile. Yeah, I would imagine. And again, that decision is not coming out for 2 hours.
Maybe you just call it a day because it's Friday. You want to end the trading week on a positive note.
That's a fact.
I might just hit the lockout button here.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Locking it up. $1,400. Why not? Why not? I see some traders talking about the NASDAQ. Which looks like a decent short here also. I just want to sell something.
How you see exhaustion on footprint chart. You're going to, what I'm looking for is, so how a footprint works is you're essentially reading the delta for each price metric. So what I'm looking at on my software is I can see on this candle, there's a breakdown. It's kind of hard to show it, but on this candle, there's a breakdown of different levels and what the delta is at each level. As we get up towards highs, I'm going to be looking for smaller and smaller buy deltas.
Lack of buying. Baron, I wanted to ask you something. You said, it's Friday. You may be locking it up. This is the last full week of the year. I saw somebody in the chat mention earlier, they said, maybe I don't even trade the week of Christmas and just come back, 2026 and trade. What are your thoughts on that?
I was literally thinking about this today. I was like, really? I don't even know if I want to stream next week or do anything. Because I haven't really taken a break off trading in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And
we talked about this before earlier in the year.
Yeah. I think I might just after tomorrow, I might just call it till the end of the year. Except for the slow market session on Tuesday.
There you go. There you go. That's the one benefit to being a trader, is that you don't have to trade every day. We're gonna be here on TopstepTV, but we're not even here all week. Right? Monday, Tuesday, Friday next week we'll be here, but outside of that, everyone take take some time off the charts. Here we go. Seeing a little bit of selling coming in here, no? Yeah, you're right.
No, there's nothing.
Yeah,
there's nothing so far. It's
volume-wise, there's nothing. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I don't want to be looking for the short right now. I want to see, like, especially since this is the first time we've tested VWAP since this aggressive sell-off. I want to see if it rejects here, and then maybe we come back down to the lower VWAP band, use that as support, then head back up towards VWAP, and then I can take the short once I've seen, okay, we are still rejecting VWAP.
Right. This is my second day with profits. I'm not fully confident yet, but it's growing. Jeremiah, that's good stuff, man. Trading is a journey. Trading is a journey. If you can understand how to manage risk, that's probably more important than figuring out how to make profits right away. Figure out how to manage your risk, manage an account.
If I think about last year, where I was at last year, my account management was not great. I had some hiccups this year, but
yeah,
overall, I think I'm ending this year pretty strong. So I'm extremely happy with how my trading's progressed in the last year.
Good stuff, man. What do you think you learned? What do you think is one lesson you learned this year from trading? I can say what I think my lesson is for you.
Learn what you're content with.
We talked about this. Learn what you're content with. Okay.
Learn what you're content with. Because,
yeah,
I mean, last year, my goal last year was I just want to be having 10K months and just be able to quit my job and replace that income.
Okay.
And then this year, the first 6 months, I was taking pretty large payouts.
Right.
And then kind of had a little stumble, for 2 or 3 months. And I had to really do some, I don't know if you want to call it soul searching or what. I was journaling and I was just like, what's this issue here?
Right.
What am I trying to figure out? And it's, what are you content with, Baron? What are you going to be content with? Because last year it was 10K, and this year, the first 6 months, it was, 5 times that.
Right.
I need to really define what that is. And since I've been able to define that, I've seen a lot more consistent results with not going for these massive profit days. And, there's still a little bit of struggle here and there, but overall, if I look at my stats, I've had one account that I've been able to maintain for almost 3 months now on a firm, and you don't really see that too often,
right?
But what it took to get there was I had to hit that. I had to hit a pretty low to.
It happens. It happens. I think a lot of us have been there, right? A lot of us have been there. It's just it's what it takes. I was gonna say, I think what I saw you do, and we talked about this earlier, was taking a break for a little bit. I think you took maybe 4 days off the markets, but it was just it was when you're trying to make decisions every single day and shit's not going good. Can't see.
I was just forcing things. I was forcing it because that's what the expectation became.
Right.
My expectation was oh, you're having these big months. Everyone's expecting it from you, and I was just like, okay, I just need to chill out a little bit. I wrote down back in September. I wrote down a 10-step plan, and the first step was chill out. Chill out. You're trying to do too much.
Right.
And then there was a couple other things in there, okay, go back test. Right. So I went and back tested on NASDAQ for 6 hours, and I wasn't doing too hot. So I was like, okay, let me switch to assets. So I switched over to gold, and I did an 8-hour back testing session. It was split up between 2 days, but I did really well on gold. And I was like, okay, maybe I just switch assets. And then I switched assets, and I've been pretty consistent with it. And then it's using a very similar system to what I was using on NASDAQ, but it's pulling in different stats. On NASDAQ, I'd be using True Day Open, which is midnight New York. That was one of the stats I like to use. On gold, it's okay, Asia sweeps one-sided New York, but I don't use that True Day Open stat on GC because it's worse. But I'll still use an IB. I'll still use fibs. Still use volume profile. Still use VWAP. All of that. So it's just tweaking the system a little bit.
Let's quote some prices really quick here. NASDAQ trading 25,261.75. The S&P 68.29. Gold still pushing here, 43.54. Still no short. Maybe it is just a long. Find a metal and buy it has been the trade over the past couple of months.
There were some sellers trying. At these highs, but I'm not convicted. I'm not convinced by them yet.
I'm looking for the response to this 58.60 area, if anything. One of the things also, Baron, you just switched over, just from an outside perspective, you switched over to a market that was kind of presenting one directional opportunities.
Yeah.
Right.
Was,
And
well,
hear
I
that.
started trading it and I started posting about it, and people were like, "Oh, you're switching assets because gold's on a parabolic run right now."
Yes.
I was like, well, yeah, that's part of it.
Right.
That's part of it.
Right. What's
But
wrong with that?
even after it hasn't been parabolic in the last 3 months,
Right.
and look at my results. So is it just because it's just allowing it at open? That was kind of the play for 2 or 3 weeks, where it was just
Right.
like, oh, I can just long this at open. It's just going to rip up.
Right. Now, is
But obviously
it
the market.
correlation? Is it causation? Who knows, right? Maybe if you took the break and went back to trading, the NASDAQ would have been the same anyway. But looking at the
It might
charts,
have.
gold was a lot cleaner than what the NASDAQ was doing. We had
Yeah.
once we broke out, what was that date? September 2nd, it was a 20% rally, right?
Yeah,
Pretty much
it
one
just
directional
kept
trade.
going.
So Baron, my guy Braden in the chat, finding the hot market is the key, right? And we hear it a lot, right? Now, where's that balance as a trader? Hear it, focus
I
on one
think
market, focus on one thing. That's where you're going to make your money. But if the
yeah,
market is dry, how do you make money from it?
I think if you're a beginner trader, you should really just be focused on one asset, whether
100%.
that's NASDAQ, gold, silver, ES. Pick your poison, right?
100%.
As you start to find profitability in that one asset, I think you should have that like bread and butter, right? Where it's okay, well, I'm a NASDAQ trader, but that doesn't mean I can't, look over at gold and see, okay, well, this is really easy to trade. I'm going to see if my same system applies. Now, you should
Right.
back test that and see if the same setups you're taking on NASDAQ work on gold. They're probably going to be slightly different because each asset has its own personality, is what people call it. So I would really try to find success in one asset. If you're struggling with, I know a lot of people trade NASDAQ online. I see a lot of people trade NASDAQ. When I first started, it was ES. Everyone was trading ES. And then like 2 years ago, everyone kind of shifted over to NASDAQ. Now in the last 3 months, you're seeing people shift over to gold. So
it's silver now.
Yeah, now it's silver.
Yeah.
So you're seeing people switch between these assets. I would say find the one that you can see consistent results with, and then start to dip your toes into these other assets, whether it's copper, GC, lean hogs,
right,
natural gas. Like I've someone in my Discord, all he trades is NASDAQ and natural gas, but he's mostly trading natural gas.
When it moves 8% in a day, you could probably find an opportunity from there, right? Natural gas is consistently one of the top percentage movers right now, wintertime. Is it always going to be like that? No. You probably don't hear many traders talking about natural gas in the summer.
You have to think you also have to think about seasonality as well.
Right.
Right. April to August, GC was in a range. It was in a range. It was a large range, but it was still in range. So
are you able continue to push here?
Are you able to trade in that large range? Are you not able to? NASDAQ, 2 years ago in February to April, it was in a pretty tight range. And I remember trading it. It's like, can we please just, everyone on Twitter was like, can we please just break out of this range?
Right.
Everyone was going a little insane.
Yeah, go somewhere. Do something.
But yeah, I mean, you're gonna have different assets moving. I mean, I haven't traded crude futures, but I've had some nice plays on crude with leveraged ETFs. And
there you go.
I hold the ETF for a month. I take the long, just based off seasonality. It was just based off seasonality. I'd hold it for a month. If you're trading leveraged ETFs, you have to be aware of leverage decay. So those aren't long-term positions. So I'd hold it for a month, get out of it, and then look for, okay, all right, is this providing a good opportunity to write it back down? Or do I want to get back in on the long side of this, or whatever it is? But there's going to be opportunities in every market.
For sure. We're seeing some questions in the chat here. What's moving the markets right now? Really nothing. If I'm looking at the NASDAQ, this kind of just feels like empty price action right now.
It's probably just digesting. The market's just digesting that CPI print.
Right.
And I would say that's probably going to be the case going into tomorrow.
Right. We got maybe even data tomorrow. We got the Japan rate decision tonight. We got PCE tomorrow, Michigan sentiment tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I would not be surprised to see the NASDAQ trading these exact prices tomorrow morning, before that PCE number comes out.
Do we get a little Santa rally here? Do we get a Santa rally the last 3 trading days before Christmas?
So everyone has been saying that it starts after Christmas, but here's my view on it.
Before. I always thought it was like 2 weeks before and then it dies.
Here's my view on it. With the reaction that we saw to CPI today, right? The market rallied off of CPI. Buyers clearly stepped in on that print and held it up pretty well, right? The candle I have marked out on my chart right now is that CPI candle. Maybe the market's waiting for the rest of the data to come out because this is the rest of the data that we're getting for the year. If it looks as good as those CPI numbers did today, because those came in way lower than expected, then yeah, we probably get the Santa. But you know,
I think part of that expectation is the Fed doesn't take a very good inflation metric. They only consider, I think it's like 200 points of data. There's other reporting metrics that take into account like 3,000 points of data, and they've been showing inflation's much lower than what it's been being stated on these CPI reports.
All right, Wumu, we see your comments in the chat. We got you. Please don't spam the chat. Like I said, Bruno is the best moderator in YouTube history, so he might just disappear. Keep spamming him in the chat. So we don't want to see it. We don't want to see that happen. And Wumu, I saw you during the stream earlier today. You were saying the shorts were going to correct. Shout out to my guy Gabe with a nice short at the end of Power Hour. And I don't disagree with you. Over time, our short's going to get wrecked. Depends on the time frame. If you oh man, we didn't have to. Over time, our short's going to get wrecked. They are probably right. You know, you zoom out far enough, these equity markets just go up. But we have to day trade here, and there's opportunities on both sides of the market. Everything right now is just kind of flat. So no need to force trades.
Yeah, GC's consolidating around this VWAP. It looks like buyers have dried it out a little bit, and there's a few more sellers stepping in. So I'd potentially be looking to short this back.
Yep. You know what I'm thinking right now, Baron? Am I trying to convince myself to take a trade, or is there an actual trade?
When's the Bank of Japan? When does that come out? 2 hours. 2 hours?
Yep.
Okay, because I don't want to be trading during that.
Yeah,
I don't want to touch that. What is it? Oh, I only have US data on here. But if it comes out in 2 hours, you know, you can still find one nice little trade in here. I think I kind of want to hop in a short just for a quick little scalp down to that lower band at 44. It's right at value area low. There's exhaustion. I don't know. I might take it. I might not.
Yeah. You know where the risk is?
You know, it would be up at like 57. So it would be like a 1-to-1 trade almost. It would be 6 points of risk for just be looking for the lower band to tap. It'd be 6 points of risk for 6 points of profit.
I'm looking, I kind of waiting to see that response to 58s, but I don't know that we're going to get up there. But yeah, saying I would be looking for 10 points here, 43.40s.
I mean, the market's died right now.
It's just flat. Need somebody come in here and market order short contracts. If you're listening, hit that sell button. All right, yeah, I did say the Japan news was 2 hours ago. It's like when your friend is telling you they're on the way. They're close, 5 minutes away, but you're still waiting 15 minutes. So that Bank of Japan number is supposed to come out at 11:30 Eastern time, 10:30 Central time. So in about an hour and 10 minutes. But if you've ever seen a Bank of Japan number, they don't come out exactly on time, right? Where we get the CPI data this morning, we have that time set. We're getting the number, scheduled release. We're getting it as the clock turns. Bank of Japan is not the same way. So it's supposed to come out at 11:30 Eastern. We'll see when we get that number. A lot of times it does say tentative on the schedule.
You know, Jay, I'm not going to take the trade. I am going to set up a short position just to see if it would play out.
There you go.
Just to see if my idea was correct. This would have been the trade. So it would have been, if I got in when I was talking about it, actually it was a little lower. And I would have to stop above this wick. And then I would only take this down to 44. So it would have been a 1.5 bar trade if I was looking at it.
There you go. Is a J trade setting up on the NASDAQ? Honestly, I don't see much of anything setting up on the NASDAQ right now. And that's why we're here just chilling, having good conversation, right? A lot of times this is what trading looks like. I've been trading with Coach Paul recently over the past couple of weeks. We, get on the phone, get on Discord, just chat, and then we see something set up. Because like we were saying, you could make something up.
You can always convince yourself there's a trade there.
Oh yeah, right. So
typically when I get in that mindset, it doesn't go well.
Great time to walk away. Great time to walk. Probably the best time to walk
away.
Lockup button.
It's a good time.
You need a signal to do something. If you're sitting here trying to convince yourself that the market is doing something, and you're like, if it's not obvious, right? We talked about that setup in the NASDAQ yesterday. I took this NASDAQ short yesterday and didn't think twice. All right, if I thought twice, I was going to miss the trade.
Yeah, sometimes it's just intuition based. Like,
right. Yep. Yeah. This one here, this was clear as day where this market was trying to go. I took that, right? But here,
it's a little
anybody's guess. Anybody's guess.
I mean, even if go look at last night's price action on GC.
Yeah,
it's terrible. It was abysmal last night.
Oh yeah, look at this. A lot of chop.
Well, what's the trade there?
Sit on your hands. Sit on your hands. Wait for opportunity.
Yeah.
Or have reasonable expectations, right? If I get in a short gold here and I'm looking for it to go down to 4,300s, what time frame am I looking for that on? Right? I might have to, you were saying, that might have to be a 16-hour trade, right? I got to go to sleep, wake up tomorrow. Hopefully it's down there, but where's the high probability in that? It could happen, but it could also just continue to rally. So, all right, just sitting here. If you guys got any questions for us, let us know. Share some hashtag slow markets if you guys are taking any trades. See, my guy Gabriel took a silver trade. Looks like a silver short. Made about $300. Try to bring those on to the stream here. Hashtag slow markets. Tag myself or Baron. There's my X account, Twitter account in the chat. Stay tuned to TopstepTV for the rest of the week. I see some questions about things in the chat. Stay tuned to TopstepTV. Finish Christmas shopping, Baron?
I'm not. This is the first year I'm not going back home for Christmas. I called my mom and she was like, "There's a lot of flooding in Washington," and she's like, "Traveling during holidays is a nightmare."
Yeah,
and she's like, "Just come in like January or February." And I was
there you go.
Okay. So it's a little weird because every single Christmas I've always been at home. So it's the first time I'm not going home. So a little homesick. I didn't really do any Christmas shopping.
I mean, yeah. There's the one benefit there. I didn't do any Christmas shopping either, and I am going home. So I gotta figure something out. I got my nieces and nephews. Buy a bunch of gifts for. There's 4 of them. So
can you give them a Topstep combine yet?
No, not legally. They are the oldest one is 9, so I'd probably get they probably get banned before they can really start trading. But they've watched Topstep TV.
I've seen that trend on social media where it's like all I want for Christmas is a fun.
Yep. Prop firm space is continuing to grow, man. Continuing to grow. Love to see it.
I started almost 3 years ago in prop firms, and there's been a lot of change since then. I mean, when I started with futures firms, there's really only 2 firms. It was Topstep, and then a firm that likes to
the other one.
A firm that likes to deny payouts and have ridiculous rules.
We just say the other one.
Hey. Yeah, the other one. But yeah, when I started, there was only really 2 firms, and now there's a bunch.
All right, let's see gold. Are we gonna go? Are sellers actually stepping in here though? Or are we just seeing price trade lower?
It just looks like buyers right now.
Right.
Really, to me. So, there are some sellers stepping up. It's nothing aggressive, but to me, this is more so there's just no more buyers up at that fee flop.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it looks like, right? Just buying kind of slowed down. Seeing the equities pop just a little bit here. Chat, let us know who's in a trade right now. Looking at the tilt, 57% long in the S&P, 58% long as the NASDAQ, 61% long crude oil for the 3.5 people trading crude, and 62% short gold right now. What are you guys looking at in the chat? Who's in a trade? How are you guys seeing buyers? Is it volume? Yeah, looking at some Delta stats. Looking at Quantower here for some Delta stats. How are you looking at it, Baron?
I have a footprint up. It's priced by order. Or sorry, no, I forget what it is. There's two different ways to like measure.
Is it volume by price?
Yeah, volume by price, not volume by order. I can pull up Bookmap and get the volume by order, but I'm just looking at volume by price right now.
Gotcha. Let's see here what we got in the chat. Long 2 NASDAQ and the XFA from 25-55. Nice trade there. About 20 points. Okay. It's a $400 trade. Yeah, it's a nice trade for tonight. Long copper.
This is kind of my expectation.
Yeah.
Yep. The rest of the trading here, it's just going to be slow.
Not many days left. Not many days left. I think, on days like today, if the price action is like this, I had to remind myself of it today. I was, obviously I'm on on TopstepTV talking to other traders. I took a couple of shorts, had a nice day. Took one more, lost $150 and said, I'm going to go ahead and lock it up there. Right. Like I can watch the markets, but call it a day. Right. We got to come back tomorrow. So not going to force anything here.
That's how I've gotten all my payouts. Is hitting the lockout button.
Great feature.
Most of my feature. Because of the lockout button.
How many times do you look at a chart? Better question. How many days? When's the last time you've had a day where you sat at the charts but didn't place a trade?
I can tell you. I don't know last time.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be my goal for 2026. Have a few days where I just don't place a trade.
Maybe. I think to me, one of the coolest things I've heard this year from a trader was Portland, who works at Topstep, and shout out to all the Topstep employees trading employee combines right now. But Cortland was he only trades the treasury products, and he only trades them on days where there's economic news, right? So on days like a CPI or an FOMC. So he knows exactly how many trading days he's going to have for the year, right? Just looking at the economic calendar. Yeah. So he's just like, I only traded on these days. Because on other days, if you're trading the treasury products, most days they're probably not moving, right? But if there's a Fed rate decision, if there's interest,
they're gonna move a lot.
Exactly. If there's inflation data, they're going to move. So only trades on those days.
Yeah. I mean, I think I might spend the next week just looking back at my stats, because there's been some days where I haven't taken, there were a few days at the start of November where I didn't take a single green trade and I just hit DLL. So those are the days I should have traded.
Yeah.
I went to California at the start of November, and I was trading off my phone for the most part. And I think I had one green day that week, and I probably just shouldn't have traded it.
Yeah.
So, I need to just lock that back in. So, I mean, most of the days I'm seeing green. Like, if I pull up this account, 1 second.
Also, for everyone asking about Dakota, Dakota's good. He just had some stuff he had to take care of tonight, so you got me and Baron tonight. Hopefully, you all are enjoying the show. We got another half an hour or so here, but you were going through your.
Yeah, if I look at my December stats,
okay,
for this one account I've had for almost 3 months now, I have 15 days traded, 4 red days, and 11 green days.
Nice.
I look back at October. I had 4 red days, 5, 6, 7, 8 red days out of 20, and then October I had 4 red days out of 20. So most days I'm ending green. There's a couple of days where maybe I just shouldn't be looking for setups or shouldn't be trading. But yeah, there hasn't been a day where I'm sat at the charts and not taking at least a paper trade.
Dolby says it all the time. If you sit at the charts and your setup presents itself, you have to take.
You're gonna take a trade.
See some questions here about who is on fast markets tomorrow. We can go through the schedule. Also, I saw the question about music. I could play music, but if I play it, we're gonna get a copyright strike. Yeah, we're gonna get a copyright strike on our YouTube page, and we do not want to see that happen. So Jay is not gonna be the reason we get in trouble here today. So I'll go over the schedule for tomorrow, Friday, December 19th. For opening call, you got me, Hogue, and Coach Vince. Andre is back for fast markets. You got Andre, Jack, Hogue, Dakota, and Mo. Hogue for the morning recap. Myself, Mandy, and Coach Hoop for the VIP lounge. Gabe, Anne Marie, and D for group coaching. And I'm coming back with Mandy and Hoop again for trade with Topstep. And then to wrap up the day reversal challenge, we got Andre, VWAP George, Chad, Nicholas, and Jack. So Dakota and Mo tomorrow for fast markets. Dakota and Mo. See? Well, how's that gold trade looking now? Right back to entry, right?
Yeah, right back to entry. I'm not gonna
great paper trade. Great paper trade. There's nothing definitive about this. And when we say that, right, like, is this definitively moving in a direction? That's not a guarantee that you're going to win the trade. But, like, if I could flip a coin and say, yeah, it could either go up or down, that's probably not a good reason to take a trade here. So,
yeah, I mean, you're back at VWAP, you're back at the value very low, but the move already happened.
Right.
I already got a piece of the move that happened. So, don't need to
keep forcing it.
Be looking for it.
And the closer we get to this Japan rate decision, the flatter we'll see these markets get, and that is supposed to be coming out at 11:30, so in about 2 hours. Now it's actually 2 hours. For whoever said I keep saying 2 hours, it's actually 2 hours. Supposed to get that rate decision. No real news out tonight. Pretty quiet markets, but again, pretty big day tomorrow. PCE, Michigan sentiment. A lot going on. NASDAQ still pushing up a little bit here for all those NASDAQ longs, 25,285. You ever look at the NASDAQ and want to trade it again?
Yeah. I've taken a couple stabs at it.
Okay. Yeah.
In the past couple months.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Some of the trades.
If you said anything else, I would not have believed that answer. I'm telling you the truth.
Some of them have been great. Some of them, like, I think it was last week. I took a short. And saw no drawdown on it, and it hit my TP in 5 minutes. I was like, oh.
It's the NASDAQ. That's why I like this. That's why everybody likes this thing, right? And it just goes.
I haven't been back to trading it on a regular basis. So I've been very consistent with gold, so I just want to keep that going.
Yep.
I don't want to interrupt the flow.
Why try to fix what's not broken?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no hesitation there. It's like, yeah, I've traded it, but
I've dabbled. I've dabbled a little.
Of course. Me and NASDAQ break up like once every month, but
yeah, it's like I call NASDAQ the toxic Latina.
Toxic girlfriend. You're right. Toxic partner. Where it's just like, I know I probably shouldn't be doing this, but hey.
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes you're gonna come home to like a nice home cooked meal, and other times you're gonna be getting hit with a slipper, you know?
Yeah, man, that market is unforgiving. It gives opportunities, it takes opportunities, but as long as you're managing your risk, probably most traders should be trading micros there either way. But even then, the volatility is unlike many other markets that we see. Other markets we see. If you guys got any questions for myself or Baron, let us know. We're going to hang out for just a little bit. But if there's no trading, we can get out of here early, give everyone some rest. You guys can get ready for PCE tomorrow because that is going to be a mover for sure. I can bring in any hashtag. I only got one. Only one hashtag. What does Dakota do to get you guys to post hashtag slow markets? Is he giving away money or something? What do I have to do?
He just asks for slow markets, and the people show up, Jay.
I don't know what else to do here, Baron. Brian.
I don't know how to help you on this one. Usually Dakota just like post on slow market, tag me, and then there's usually like 10 things he can pull from.
Right.
I know the other night, or like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, we reviewed some stats from some people in his VIP program. So that
was good too. We were getting a lot of people sending those in. But yeah, usually he just asks and it gets delivered, Jay. It's you know.
All right, hold on a second here, because I just saw somebody.
Typically, what he does is he'll be like, "If you guys want to see my trades from my personal account,
right,
send me the slow markets, send me or hit the like button." Right, that's typically how he's going about it.
Right, I saw somebody said, I'm not even gonna bring that up. I don't know what that whole eating banana thing was about. All right, so question here: am I the only one that saw PCE on the calendar for tomorrow before it just changed?
I remember doing my Outlook this week, and PCE was definitely on there.
It's not there anymore.
Or was it last week? Was PCE last week? No, it wasn't. Yeah. So it's
now I have to go check.
Did they just axe it?
It looks like they just moved it to the 23rd. All right, I gotta go check the tape on At the Buzzer. We did At the Buzzer earlier. We talked about the schedule, and it was definitely there.
Market Watch isn't even showing it. That's where I typically look at my news. It was on Friday, if I'm not crazy, and then it's not even showing it on the 23rd. But is Financial Juice showing it?
No.
Well, no, on Financial Juice it says the 23rd. USPC.
Yeah, it says the 23rd. That was definitely.
So Market Watch isn't showing it, but
moved it. Okay, well here you go. Maybe it's not done cooking yet.
The news cycle's been weird.
Maybe it's not done cooking. Seeing a little bit of selling here in gold now. Paper trade's looking good.
Yeah. There are some, they're not big sellers. It just looks like we ran out of buyers. Let's just heading straight for the TP, Jay.
Great trade.
Straight for the paper TP.
Great trade. All right. So, do you ever have any frustration when that happens?
Are
you over that now?
A little bit, but I think nowadays, yeah, I'm kind of over it. I'm just like, okay, there's going to be another opportunity.
Be another one.
I know a lot of traders deal with FOMO, and it's one of the main issues I see. If you have that struggle with FOMO, you need to get the saying in your head: there will always be another opportunity. The market's always going to present another opportunity. Because I've seen people who they'll miss a trade or they get stopped break even, and then the trade goes their direction and it tilts them, and they get so focused on that trade that they missed out on that they'll miss the next 3 setups because of it. So you always just have to be aware of that.
Absolutely. Always another trade. Always another trade. All right. I think I got a hashtag slow markets here. Let's see. Oh, I see. You guys just weren't tagging anyone. You were just posting it. All right. We got a couple. We can share these. Give me 1 second here. Let me figure out exactly how to do that. But we can share those. Anything you're expecting going into well, now I was going to say PCE. Guess we shouldn't expect anything, right? We should expect the news cycle to just change whenever they want to.
Last December was really slow. This December's been pretty crazy. I mean, last December, after the FOMC meeting, it was wild for a little bit, and then it kind of calmed down. This year, it's kind of just been steady. It's been steady all throughout December. So I don't have an expectation until the print gets released.
There you go.
I mean, you can make good money on some of these, like if you longed NQ last night in Asia and you just held it all the way through the CPI print. I mean, that's you could have gotten in like the 950s. It ran all the way up to the 400s. So,
right.
If you're betting on a good CPI release, then yeah, you can make a lot of money on these newsprints.
100%. All right, let's bring in some of these. Let's see where these are all suitable for TV here.
There's nothing in the browsers.
No, yeah, make sure these are all suitable for TV.
No crazy open tabs.
No. All right, we'll switch over. We got Jeffrey here. Jeffrey, Topstep caught a sell, expecting 43 36. Nice trade in an XFA here. Looks like the trade we were talking about, Baron, but Jeffrey actually took it.
Okay.
Couple ticks so far. Looking for lows in gold, short from 43, 51.60. Nice trade so far. Got your stop set in there. What are you looking at? What are we seeing here? Is that a fib retracement they were looking at?
Yeah, it looks like a fib. Low time frame fib.
Nice. Let's see if we get some extension on that trade. Pawn trade. Slow market so close, but so far away. Close to passing a comp.
So I think the closest one I've seen is 2 cents. It's
4 cents. Okay, so here's my suggestion, and we never give out any trading advice, but you are 4 cents away from passing the combine. Trade micros.
Trade 1 micro.
Trade one micro.
And I would wait till there's a pretty clear trend and just try to catch a piece of the trend.
Yep.
It looks like who posted that short?
That was Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. It looks like Jeffrey's short's playing out.
Trade is cooking right now.
It is cooking. It's cooking to the downside.
Hey, there you go. Pawn in the chat who just posted this says it's all right. Pass and in express now. What was the trade? What was the trade that got you the 4 cents that you needed? I'm curious. One and done Fridays.
Jay.
We got Mujib here, live account, making $1,130. One and done Fridays are my worst performance days. That's your worst. What is your best? That's a nice day there. Fridays are my worst performance days, so I prefer to take only one trade during those days. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Hashtag slow markets. Nice job there, Mujib. Good stuff, everybody. We got Gabe here. In the words of the great MP, keep jabbing. $397 on a 50K XFA, shorting silver. Nice trade. Thanks, guys, for sharing those. Baron, you just hit your profit target on that paper trade?
Yep. That's the lower band. Lower band of VWAP. So, you can see a bounce here. You can see a bounce here and see if, buyers try to have more convicted push above VWAP, or this could start to fail and continue to sell off. But would have been a nice paper trade, or would have been a nice trade.
The one we talked about when we got on here, shorting at VWAP, playing out pretty nice here. I just didn't like the way it set up, but
it gave a nice retest.
I've missed better trades. I've missed better trades.
Yeah, I have too.
Right. Well, natural gas 2% down. A lot going on here.
I haven't really looked at any of I haven't looked at natural gas or
energies.
Crude. Yeah. I mean, I used to look at crude. I just haven't looked at it in like 2 years.
You haven't missed much.
No.
Pretty range bound. We did get down to the president's target, $55 a barrel, a couple days ago.
Okay.
So a nice.
Gas has been cheap. Gas has been cheap, at least in when I was in Texas and Florida. It was under $2. So
yeah.
I'm happy about that. I have a V8 in my car, so.
Right. I don't even know what gas prices are, and this is not like a flex thing. I don't even know how much gas costs.
You just don't have a car.
I say this all. I live in New Jersey, and they pump your gas for you. So you just hand over the card and tell them to fill it up. And gotcha. I know I'm spending somewhere near $60 bucks, but seeing gold sell
nice
off
when the gas prices are lower, and you get I get like 10 miles per gallon.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm due to for a change in my car. Probably changing on my car early next year, so we'll see. No, you and Dakota are both Beamer boys now.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about one, but we'll see.
Think about the Beamer.
I've been thinking about it. Over Thanksgiving. So my cousin is a car dealer. He's a broker.
Okay.
And he came over for Thanksgiving. He was at my parents' house for Thanksgiving. He had a 7 Series.
Those are nice.
Man, super nice. Super nice. I don't know if I need something that big, but it was super nice car.
Also, if you're buying one used, just be aware of the maintenance items, air suspension. Yeah. Just typical, like you're gonna have either a V8 or a V12 in those things. So it's gonna be costly if you get repairs on it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. We got a question here, Baron. We were talking about paper trading, How do you paper trade on a funded account? How did
You can either just set up the long or short positions, or you can go over to the Topstep dashboard. They moved it from the original dashboard where it was just like you could hit a slider and switch over to practice account, and it would open that practice account for you. So if you go on the Topstep dashboard and you go into your, I believe it's under accounts and then add-ons.
Add-ons, yeah, yep.
Yeah, go to accounts, add-ons, and then just add that practice account. You know, I have a paper trading account on TradingView. That software I was talking about earlier, Profitable, they have paper trading in that, and it will track all of your stats. So it will give you like the breakdowns of your RR, your win rate, what ideal setups are. We'll give you some AI insights in there as well. You can also pull the stats in Topstep X inside of Project X with that practice account.
There you go. There you go. Accounts, add-ons, add subscription. Nice little trade here in gold. It just got down to the target. I was looking at 43.40s.
Yeah, that would have been a perfect trade.
With, all right.
You know,
all right. I'm gonna share this. How many likes are we at right now? I'm gonna share what I was looking at here.
Only if we get a certain amount of likes.
223 likes. Okay, we need 1,000 for me. No, just joking. Let's get those likes up. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up button. But there's, you know, specific volume signature that we were looking at here in gold for why I think this trade played out and why we might see, you know, a push to the upside. But there was a big seller that came in 43.50s. That whole candle was 43.57 down to 43.48. And there was another one. The high of that range was 43.40 and a half, where we kind of just stopped. So that's why that was the target on that trade.
I mean, that for me,
see what happens from here.
Where I was looking for, it's the first standard deviation band on VWAP, which the scalping between VWAP and the bands, it's pretty solid. You know, sometimes you get tight ranges, so it's not always the most ideal. But when you've got a bigger range like this, it's, you know, you can catch some 5 to 10 point trades, which
for sure
10 points on gold, that to me, solid trade.
Absolutely. Seeing the equities pull back a little bit here as well. Hopefully everybody's trading well tonight. Managing your risk, most importantly. Again, last trading day of the week, last full trading week of the year. So don't do anything crazy, right? If you're looking at the goals that you wrote on your your goal sheet January 1st, 2025, and it says make $1 million trading, and you're at 1,000. Don't try to make that million in the next couple of days. It's probably not going to happen, right? But take good trades, keep taking good trades. The calendar is going to switch over, and we got another 250 trading days next year. So don't try to force anything here.
Do you have goals for next year? Jay already set up?
Yeah, I do. Do
you want to share, or
I do. One of them is to share more of my personal trading. Okay. Personally,
I like that one.
Yeah, that's one of them. In addition to what we're doing here at Topstep, I feel like we share a lot. But that's one of them.
That was kind of my goal going into this year. Like,
yeah,
at the end of the year last year, I was struggling a bit, and I was like, I don't know what's going wrong. I was like, I just decided I'm just gonna start posting trading content. I don't care if I get 20 followers, 200. I think I'm ending the year here at like 20,000, which is crazy. But I was like, I'm just gonna start posting trading content, and hopefully it just brings the level of accountability for myself. 100%. And it did. So that's kind of why I started posting it, and it helped with my trading.
100%. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just sharing more content. I look at your Instagram page. I'm like, man, this dude is like, I mean, you were born in the age of social media.
I'm not even on top of it. Like, at points in this year, I was on top of it where I was posting 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, if I can get 1 post a day, that's solid to me. If I can get 2 out, that's good. If I get 3 out, great. But it's tough trying to come up with ideas to post every day.
Right. and yeah, that was my thing. It's just like, okay, am I going to just post to post, or am I posting because it's useful content? But yeah, we'll get more of it out there. We'll get more of it out there for sure.
I have a friend, she just started trading 6 months ago, and I told her, I was like, just start posting content. It doesn't matter. She's been doing like a series where it's like day 1, day 2, day 3 of like learning how to day trade, and she was just paper trading for the first like 85 days or so, and now she's on her like first, I guess second. It's her second prop firm challenge, so she's just she just does that on a daily basis, and it helps with like accountability and like, okay, am I taking the right trades? Am I doing the right things? Like today she sized up and she hit a DLL because of it, and I told her
those are lessons. Those are lessons we all have to learn.
Yeah, during the when she first got the challenge, I was like, okay, just start out with 2 micros. That's all you're gonna use, 2 micros for a week.
Yep.
And you know, and
that's more than enough. More than enough.
The first couple of days, she was a little nervous, so she got into some drawdown. Then she got out of it, right? And I told her, okay, like now the nerves are kind of gone. Let's go back up to 4 micros. And then today, like she sized up. I don't know what she sized up to, but it was more than 4, and she hit a DLL because of it. So I'll have to talk with her this weekend and be like, okay, let's go back, size down again. I know it sucks and it feels like you're treading water right now, but it's part of the process.
100%. 100%. When does the market kickstart in the new year? Best time to be back in the markets? Maybe usually after that first week or so.
Yeah, I'd say first week. After the first week, it's typically when it picks up.
Let everyone recover from their celebrations or whatever they did. Let some volume come back into the markets, but usually after that first week.
Yeah, so I would say January 5th. January 5th, probably maybe like the 7th, maybe the middle of that second week of January. That's when I would expect the market to pick back up.
Yep.
Usually it slows next week. I mean, the market's kind of been crazy recently, so maybe it doesn't
who knows? Next week. Who knows, right?
Maybe it doesn't slow down next week, but I would expect a little bit lower volume coming into next week.
100%. And if we expect lower volume, right, look at and we'll probably wrap in just a minute here, but look at Thanksgiving week, right? Everyone's saying, slow week. It's going to be a slow week, no trading, low volume. Low volume a lot of times means float. We had a 5% week.
Yeah.
The week of Thanksgiving. So there are opportunities. If you're out there, you want to trade, the markets will be open. Do I suggest sitting there trading all of next week, every hour of the day? Probably not. But if you want to look and find an opportunity, it may be there, right? It may be there. The markets they're open, so they're probably going to move. I just would not suggest trying to force trades.
Typically, my worst trading days are when I'm spending more time on the charts. I typically start to see some decline in the setups I'm trying to find, and I start to overtrade if I'm on the charts for more than like 3 hours. That's usually like my cutoff point. Like I need to go step away and do something else and then come back to it.
100%. 100%. We are seeing the markets back in these ranges. So I think we could go ahead and probably wrap there. And a reminder to everyone that the Bank of Japan is making that rate decision tonight. Tentatively supposed to be coming out at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, 10:30 Central. So in just over an hour and a half from now, we should be getting that number. Understand that has the potential to move the markets a lot, ton of volatility, or it could be a nothing burger, right? But just make sure you know where your risk is. Tomorrow, we thought we were getting PCE, but we're not. We're getting Michigan sentiment, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. Baron, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, I just hope everyone, stays safe. I guess we'll be on Tuesday again, but stay safe for the rest of the year. Expect lower volume, things to kind of slow down a bit, but there might still be moves. It's Friday's price action, so Thursday night, Friday's price action. If you're up on the day and you recognize that you don't trade well on Fridays, maybe just hit that lockup button. If you're green, just call it a day. Even if you're red, call it a day.
Correction also on that time. I'm pretty sure I looked at this earlier and it said 23:30, but it's showing 22:30 now for the Bank of Japan rate decision. So in just about 35 minutes, I got to look back at the tape and see whether I was just seeing things or these numbers moving around. Like what is happening here? What is happening? Somebody's just trolling me right now, switching around the economic calendar. But right now it's looking like that Bank of Japan rate decision is going to be in about 35 minutes or so. Again, tentative time on that. And then tomorrow, just seeing Michigan sentiment and existing home sales for now. Thank you, everyone, for joining. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate you all being here. Trade well. I see the comments in the chat. Continue to stay with us, stick with us. We'll all be better through all of this, things that we had on the platform. Stick with us. Watch TopstepTV. Get all your updates from Have a great night, everybody. We will talk to you all soon.
CJ.